will stay true to the spirit of the principle of one country, two systems, under which the people of Hong Kong administer Hong Kong and the people of Macau administer Macau, both with a high degree of autonomy. We will improve the relevant systems and mechanisms of the two special administrative regions for enforcing the Constitution and the basic laws.
Victor Teo is a visiting research fellow at the University of Cambridge. He joins us now from Singapore to analyze this story more. Victor, thanks so much for your time for us here at TRT World. Now, first of all, what would all these changes mean in practice for Hong Kong?
Well, I think in practice, the direct representation of the Hong Kong people will be diluted in the Hong Kong Legislative Council. The reason is that the NPC, the National People's Congress, is now coming up with a draft that will see the number of directly nominated legislators increase in the Hong Kong Legislative Council. This means that in the future, those legislators that are directly elected by the Hong Kong people will be probably in the minority. In that instance, it's unlikely that any calls for separate or independent Hong Kong will be able to. Any calls for independent Hong Kong will be able to take root in the Hong Kong legislature.
Victor, the reform of the election system comes after that massive unrest we've seen in Hong Kong. So what kind of reaction can we expect from the pro-democracy activists and opposition?
Well, I think at the moment, most of them are already arrested and most of them are charged under the existing Hong Kong law. So this is something that is a long time coming, and I think everybody who has any political sense will know that this is already in the works. So, and that's the reason why in 2019, so many people are going forward to support the protest, because they fear that this day will come. But this, in supporting the protest, it actually accelerated the appearance of this day. So, I think most Hong Kong people are resigned to the fact that this is happening, but at the same time, they are hoping that aspects of the Hong Kong that we've seen before the 2019 protests will be retained under the one country, two system principle today going forward.
The National Congress is China's biggest political meeting. It's still underway. But what is the main message China wants to send this year, especially now after we've heard about its plans when it comes to Hong Kong?
I think for the Hong Kong people, the main message is that the one country comes before the two systems, that any democratization in Hong Kong would have to take place within the one country framework. This means that even though this might be a popular thing that the Hong Kong people, I'm not saying that this is, but even if that might be the case, the Hong Kong people cannot actually call for independence, that Hong Kong would always be a part of China. I think this is the main message that the NPC wants to send to Hong Kong people. But other than that, I do not think that the NPC is going all out to take away the freedoms in Hong Kong. It's taking away some of the right to assembly freedoms, I think, with the national security law. But going forward, I think everybody will want to try and keep Hong Kong as intact as possible for the foreseeable future.
Victor Teo, I appreciate that insight for us. He's a visiting research fellow at the University of Cambridge.